Hello, how are you all? Welcome to this channel. I am Mary Tajitos. In today's class, we're going to go through the detailed step-by-step for this beautiful bag. Look at all these details. Look at the stitch finish. The base, how we are going to make it with slip stitches. Here is the stitching on the sides. Look how perfect it turned out. Nicely arranged, I am going to teach you how to make this stitch so it looks this organized and beautiful. Let's decorate the little chain. See how this gives a spectacular touch. A very beautiful finish to our bag. I'm showing you how spacious the bag is on the inside. We're going to make this whole project using fantasy stitches and slip stitches. They're very simple stitches, and we've already worked with them many times here on the channel. I hope you enjoy the whole process and stay with me until the end of the class. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming projects. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to help you. And finally, I invite you to leave me a like and write a comment as a sign of appreciation. This motivates me to keep sharing these wonderful lessons with you and helps our channel continue to grow. Without further ado, let's go to the list of materials and then to the step-by-step instructions. We are going to work with the following materials, and you can get them at your online store. Your supplies? We have a measuring tape, a 6mm knitting needle. This will be our main needle, and a 3.5 knitting needle, which will be used to weave in ends. A magnetic clasp with holes for sewing it on, 4 stitch markers, 2 rings, a 3cm carabiner scissors, a small bell for the tassel, a yarn needle, 100 centimeters of chain for the handle size 22 nylon thread, and a sewing needle for attaching the clasp. A personalized tag with the channel's name. This is optional. For the t-shirt yarn, I will be using 2 skeins of 250 grams each, for a total of 500 grams. This material is from Trapilo Ovilo, a premium t-shirt yarn with a feather-like, very lightweight strand. It measures 3 centimeters wide, and you can work with it using a 5 to 7mm hooks. Let's start by working with chains. We begin by making a slip knot, and now we'll crochet 38 chains. For the machillo stitch, we yarn over and slip through 8 chains for the machillo stitch. We yarn over and slip through. This way, we will make the chains until we reach number 38. I finished the 38 chains, and they measure about 34 centimeters long. Now we will crochet 1 additional chain, which will be our turning chain, for a total of 39 chains. We will start the first row on the back of the chain, where the bumps are. Insert the hook under the second bump. Remember that this first one is our turning chain, so we go here under each bump, and we will make a stitch there. Now we start with a slip stitch. Insert the hook under the bump, yarn over, you have 2 loops on the hook, and slip the first one through the second. Under the next one. Of the next one. We will work on a total of 5 slip stitches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would be the 5th. This is how they're turning out. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's work on this side. Now this stitch is known as the pattern stitch, and it's worked as if it were a half double crochet. We yarn over the hook and go under the back bump. We yarn over, pull up a loop, and we have 3 loops on the hook. Here, we are not going to yarn over to close them all, but instead, we will take the last loop, this one, and pass it under the first 2. Like this, just like that. Here we slip. We don't close the stitch, we yarn over again. Let's try when we yarn over to keep the opening facing inward so that the stitch on the back side stays nice and neat. So we take the yarn and this way we go under the back bump. We yarn over again. We lift it up, always at the level of the little loop that's on the hook. Now we're going to slip the first little loop under the last two, like this. Check how the stitch looks on the back. It's hard to see now, but I'll show you later. So here, we yarn over again, place it on the hook, go under the back bump, yarn over, lift it up. We have 3 loops on the hook, and we slip the first one under the other 2. In this first stitch, we're going to place a marker. So we know that's where the pattern stitch begins. We keep working, yarn over, place it on the hook, and go under the back bump. We yarn over, lift up, and we're going to slip the first loop over the 2 we already had. We continue the process. This is how our stitches are turning out. Look at the back side, how beautiful they are. Here we make 12 stitches. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're going to work on this side. 4 slip stitches. We pass the hook under the ridge. And we make a slip stitch. Under the next one. We have 2, 3, 4. We place a marker on the first one. And here on the last one. We work on this side, 12 pattern stitches. We place the yarn over the hook. We go underneath. The needle. We slide. And when the fabric yarn starts twisting, you're going to stretch it like this, and that's how you untwist it. Here I completed 12 stitches after the last marker. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here we have 5 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to make slip stitches, just like we did here at the beginning. We pass the hook under the first back bump. We slip, and in this first stitch, we place a marker. We do the next one. Here is the last one. Here we complete the 5 slip stitches. We finish the first round with 38 stitches. We work 5 slip stitches at the beginning, 12 pattern stitches, 4 slip stitches in the center of the piece, 12 pattern stitches, and finish with 5 slip stitches. We are going to make a turning chain. We turn the work over, and here I'm going to show you how the stitch looks from the back. Look how pretty it is. Look, what a beautiful finish, so you get that result. This way, you should arrange the yarn before making the stitch. We're going to start the second row here. We're going to begin with 5 slip stitches, but we're going to work on this. Insert the hook through the center of the chain, taking only the top strand. We insert the hook and make a slip stitch.
1,
1, 2, 3, 4, and here's the last one. 5. We remove the marker here. We're going to make the first fantasy stitch by passing the needle not through the center of the chain, but through the bottom part here where these spaces are. There, we're going to pass the needle under the entire chain. We yarn over and place it on the hook and pass it under the entire chain. We have 3 here. We slide, place the yarn over the hook again so it's well organized, and pass it under the entire chain. Here we have 3. We slide through 2. Here it's already complete. The 12, check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We remove the marker and make the slip stitches here. All the slip stitches will be done by passing the needle through the center of the chain. So we pass the needle through the center of the chain. We yarn over and slip, then place the marker again in this first stitch. We slip the second one. The third one. We remove the marker. And we finish the fourth one. We place the marker again. We're going to work the 12 patterned stitches on this side. We place it on the hook again and go under the entire chain. We always keep the height at the level of the little loop that's on the hook, and we slide the first chain under the previous 2. We place it again, and we make the stitch. Here we slide. This is how we will continue until we finish all 12 stitches. Whenever you finish, make sure you have made the correct number of stitches. And here we will continue working the 5 slip stitches. We go through the center of the chain and make the first one here. Second stitch. Third. 4th, and the 5th stitch. We make a turning chain and finish the second row with 38 stitches. And with this same number of stitches, we will continue working on the rest of the piece. We turn the work and start row number 3. We insert the hook into the center of the chain and make a slip stitch. We will work the 5 stitches here. We start the decorative stitch here. Passing under the entire chain. I finished the 12 stitches. Now we're going to make the slip stitches here. We go through the center of the chain and make the first stitch. Two, 3, and 4. I finished the slip stitches. Now let's continue working here on the 12 pattern stitches. Let's do the last stitch. And we'll finish the 5 slip stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Kanya to chain height. And we finished the 3rd round. I'll show you how the stitches look. Look at the front side and here at the back side. See how the strands are nicely arranged, very organized. This will give us a good finish. I'm going to give you the length up to this point. We have it, 39.5 centimeters. If you want to make this piece a little bigger, you just need to add more chains at the beginning. That's it. We started with 39 chains, working on a base of 38. You're going to start here, where we worked 5 slip stitches. You're going to add 1 more. That would be 6. Here you add 2. That would be 14 stitches. And here you add 1 more stitch. Here you add 14 stitches. And here 6. 6 stitches. In total, we've increased by 7 stitches. And this way, you'll have a bigger piece. If you want it even bigger, you can distribute the stitches however you like, keeping in mind what I just told you. These sides should always be bigger than the center stitch, even if it's just by 1 stitch. And the predominant stitch is the one in the center, the decorative stitch. This side should always be taller. So for the width, you just keep working the rounds until you reach the desired width. Now I'm going to keep working the rows just like we've been doing. And I'll be back to continue the process. I've already finished the width of the piece. Here, I did 30 rows. Let me show you how the stitches turned out. See how well organized they are. They're nice and neat. See how they look. In case you notice when you finish that there's a stitch that's not well organized, maybe it's a little tangled or not in the right place. You're going to take the thinner needle, pass it underneath, and do this. You're going to adjust it. Anything you see that's not organized, you fix it like this, to give the piece a better finish. Now, I'm going to show you how to identify each row. Let's look at the slip stitches. See how these are divided by little blocks. And each of these little blocks is made up of 2 rows. So here we have 15 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. For a total of 30 rows. That means each bump is made up of 2 rows. That's so you know how to identify them, so you can keep count when you're making the stitch. I'll give you the measurements now. In length, we have 39 centimeters of width where the base will be. Centimeters will be 30. We have 23 centimeters here in the fantasy stitches. We have 25 centimeters, and here the width of the lid ended up being 19.5 centimeters. We're going to cut the yarn on this side, leaving about 60 centimeters to sew on this side. Before starting, you can also leave a strand of about 60 centimeters, or you can simply sew with a new strand. It's okay, you can do it either way. Here, in the last stitch, we pull out the yarn. We're going to hide the yarn on this side and loosen the slip knot. And we pull. With the help of a thinner needle, we hide it under the stitches. I finished hiding the yarn. Here at the tip, you are going to put a drop of silicone, or make a simple stitch so that this yarn doesn't come out. We cut off the excess here and hide the end very well. To do the stitching, we are going to use a yarn needle. And we're going to position the piece. You can choose either side as the right side, because the piece looks the same on both sides. So I'm going to join them like this, making sure to position them very well. Here, let's make sure one stitch lines up with the other. We can see that on both sides we have a chain, so we pass the needle through. Here, in the little ridge that's on top of the first stitch, from front to back. We tighten it very well. And we're going to continue the stitching by passing the needle through the center of the chain stitch. Here, taking only the top strand and the top strand of the chain stitch that's in front. Let's do this. Taking one chain across from the other, like this. Then we go through here, in the chain that's underneath, and here in the one across from it. We tighten it and we go back, in the chain that's underneath, and we take the one across from it. We tighten it very well. We go through the chain stitch that's underneath in the center, and in the center, the one that's in front, taking only the strand that's on the top. We pull it tight. we're going to work on the last stitches here. Look, here we have the chain on this side and the last one. Right down here. Look, we adjust it very well. And let's check how the seam turned out. It turned out well. Now let's hide this thread. Let's go. We pass it under the stitches here. We cut. And when we finish, we secure the tip with a drop of silicone, and this way we'll also hide the thread on the other side. Here, I already have the thread. We arrange everything nicely and locate the chains. Notice that these are a little inward, so don't get confused with this side. Here we identify them, and we're going to place one stitch in front of the other. Look, here is the first chain, and the chain in front of it is this one. Right, now that we have them located, we're going to pass the needle under this little ridge and the ridge that's on top of the chain back here. This is to make that stitch stronger. Remember, it's the first one. So here we pull through, and now we pass the needle through the center of the chain. In the first one I just showed you, look at it here. Make sure the yarn stays in the center, like this. We tighten it very well. And are we going to leave a tail to weave in? Then, here at the top, we have the first chain, and on top there are two little ridges. We're going to go under both ridges, from front to back. This is to secure this first corner. It's a little tight here. You can go through just one first. Then through the other one after. Here on this side, the chain stitch tends to hide a little, so we go under the first strand of the chain stitch below. And here, which is this one, the second upper chain stitch. We tighten it very well. We go through the lower chain stitch, taking the upper strand and the one in front. And on this side. We'll make the final stitch here. Look here where the thread is. And right here next to it, the front strand. We pull it out. And we're going to hide the leftover thread under the stitches like I explained before. I finished hiding the thread, and also the one on this side. Here I show you how the seam turned out. Look how it looks. Now, let's turn the piece inside out. Very carefully. We arrange it very well. I finished arranging the bag. Look how it turned out. This is how the bottom base looks. How spacious it turned out inside. This is how the seams on both sides turned out. Now, let's put on the magnetic clasp. We start by attaching the thick part of the clasp. We place it in the center of the piece. Make sure it's nicely centered. Let's start sewing. We pass the needle first from the bottom of the stitch, so that the initial knot is hidden. Here. Now we go through the center, here where the space is. Always making sure it comes out from the bottom of the stitches, back here, where the nylon can't be seen. The important thing about the stitching, it shouldn't be noticeable on this side. So we're going to do it very carefully. We go back the same way. But this time, the needle should come out on the outside of the space. The needle is already on this side. We pull it out here. Now we're going back, passing it again through the center, here where the space is. We're going back again. We're going to do this same process here in the next space, and in the others. Pass the needle through, and then I go back, one outside and one inside the space. You should use pliers to help yourself, because the slip stitch fabric is very dense. It's very hard to pass the needle through. I'll do this, and then I'll be back. I've finished attaching this clasp. Let's place this one. We put it on top. We adjust the piece. We open it, and we unfasten the clasp. So now we have this one in the exact spot where we're going to place it. Let's continue with this process. As I explained before, I've already placed the clasp. It's nice and snug. Very firm. Now let's put on the rest of the accessories. Let's decorate the chain, threading the strand through the center. We're going to do it this way. Trying to keep the t-shirt yarn well organized so the finish looks nice. See you next time. Again, towards the back. We're going to leave this last ring free so we can place the carabiner here. So here at the back, we're going to cut the strand. You can make the join here with a little bit of glue and then finish it off with a needle and thread. Never use just glue because it can come apart. So we open up the last strand here and we're going to hide the tip inside there. I'm going to check the stitching with nylon. Some really tiny stitches. We're going to tie 3 small knots on the 2 ends. If you want it to be more secure, you can burn the thread. And from there, it won't come undone. You also burn the one on this side. Well, that's how the seam turned out. Look, you can barely notice it. Here, on this ring, we're going to attach the clasp. And we're going to sew this side. We cut here. After we cut, we pull out here in the first chain so it matches the one on this side. And now, from the back, we're going to finish it off just like we did here. We hide the little end at the bottom and sew it up. I finished sewing the chain. And this is how it turned out. Look how beautiful it is. Let's put on the rings. Here, I already placed the tag with the channel's name. I put it in the center of the bag. We pass the ring through here in this space. Look here. And here on this side. This is how the rings should be positioned. At the end, make sure the chain is facing the right way. Now let's make the tassel. For the tassel, we're going to cut 5 strands each 30 centimeters long. We also cut a smaller one, and we're going to pass it through the center of the strands. We're going to make a little knot. We secure it very well, and that's it. Here we make another little knot. Nice and tight. And we cut. Now we're going to attach the tassel cap. Here, before inserting the t-shirt yarn, you can add some liquid silicone so the tassel fits nice and snug. So, we insert it very carefully, and here we arrange the little strands nicely. We tighten the screws. Now let's even out the tips. We arrange the strands very well. And here we even them out. We check again. Make sure the tips are nice and even. I already have the tassel ready. Let's put it on the bag. I'm going to use this 2 centimeter wide lobster clasp. finished the whole process of the bag. Here's how it turned out. Let me show you. Look at how the stitching on the sides turned out. Here on the back, you can see how beautiful this stitch looks. I'm showing you how spacious it turned out on the inside. Look, it's really roomy. It's 20 centimeters tall. At the center, the bag is 25 centimeters wide. And at the top, it ended up being 19 centimeters. We've reached the end of the lesson. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. I hope you enjoyed the whole process. I hope you enjoyed it and that you put it into practice. I also invite you to share this content on all your social media so our community can grow. And that way, you motivate me to keep sharing these wonderful classes with you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will gladly answer you. See you in the next class. God bless you. Bye.